Hello and welcome to another Source Gaming discussion. I'm your host Nantenjex, and joining me today is Spazzy and Martin to talk about the 3.0 Smash update that we will be having in spring 2019. It was announced in the latest Nintendo Direct, and we don't know a lot about it. They just told us that we'd have to wait and see at a later date, which sort of implies to me that we'll probably get like a kind of Smash-specific Nintendo Direct. Even if it's just like a 10-minute one. What do you guys think?
I agree, that's probably the way that this will go. I don't think we're going to get anything too in-depth, maybe like a 12-minute direct at the most, and I don't think we're going to get a full direct before then.
Martin, you got the same train of thought?
I've been thinking that maybe what they might do is actually have like a Nintendo Direct Mini with a focus on Smash Brothers. What they've been kind of doing these past couple years, where they have this one general presentation and then there's one main title that's the focus. And I think they might just plop it on like a random Friday or something, just have it be 20 minutes in length, show some like additional release dates before E3, and then maybe the latter 10 minutes before Smash Brothers. So I do think there's going to be another Direct, just a Nintendo Direct Mini with just a whole focus on Smash itself.
They could do that. I feel like we might get something in March or the very beginning of April that's like a Smash-specific Direct. If it's the very beginning of April, I'd expect it to be and all of this comes out today sort of situation. What I'm expecting is like we got with the Roy Ryu Direct that happened in E3 during Smash for Wii U DLC. I think we're going to see something similar to that.
I think it might be almost exactly the same thing. I just looked it up. It was titled Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS Wii U, new content approaching. And it was 18 minutes and 21 seconds, so I think it'll be very close to that, but probably a little bit shorter.
I don't know. Potentially it could be a bit longer. It depends on what they have to show off, because this isn't just an all-around DLC fighter pack. This is like a full 3.0 update.
Well, the Roy and Ryu one also showed Mii Fighter costumes and returning stages.
Which is all paid DLC that was either coming or about to come out today, but the 3.0 update I think is going to add some free stuff as well for people who aren't paid for DLC. But let's start with what we actually do know will be there, and that is Joker. Pretty much the only thing confirmed. It's been confirmed that he'll be launching before the end of April, and we know this is coming in spring, so I think it's fairly obvious that we will be seeing Joker. We'll get his first gameplay, a breakdown of Joker, and then a release date for him if it is not the same day. I think it's obvious that we're going to see the stage as well, whatever it could be. But do you think we'll also see, along with all this, Mii costumes and spirits as well around Persona?
For Persona?
Yeah, right. Yeah, to go along with Joker, or do you think we'll get like new spirits in general in this update?
Yes, I do think we're going to get new spirits. I do think we are going to get new Mii Fighter costumes, especially because they advertised and quickly deleted the fact that more Mii Fighter costumes were coming on the Nintendo support website. So there's probably going to be more, and it would make sense for the Persona franchise to get that kind of content. So I'm thinking we'll get that. I'm thinking definitely more spirits. The question is, though, whether there'll be some integration with World of Light. Maybe we'll add some area to where it's specifically Persona spirits.
No, I don't think so. I think any spirits that they'll add will be part of the spirit board. But I don't think they're going to be part of... I don't think they're going to expand World of Light in any way. For instance, Piranha Plant, you can play in World of Light, but I haven't tried starting a brand new game, but when I entered my World of Light after he was there, it just said Piranha Plants join.
Yeah, so, I got the same thing. I'd assume if you started, you just start with Piranha Plant automatically, and Joker, I'm assuming, will be the same. As much as I would love like this update to bring a new boss from like Persona and a bunch of new spirit battles, that'd be really cool, but I don't see it happening.
I think that we will definitely get some spirits for this, but I don't think that we're going to get any new spirit battles. Oh, no. Like I said before, we'll get spirit battles, but they'll be like on the spirit board. And I don't think we're going to get that much from Persona. We could get Mii costumes from, I guess, the overall Persona or Shin Megami Tensei, in general. But I think we're just going to get a lot more general Mii costumes, but we'll have to see. I'm curious, what's with the rumors of there being a female Joker now?
There was some garbage data found in one of the file formats for Smash Ultimate that had a Maya model file that had the codename for Joker, Jack. But it was talking about, I think, its 7th alt, and it had the name Jane, which was a female name. and it's kind of weird. Like, it could be for a female Joker.
I'm upset they didn't go with Jill.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Gotta work on your code names there.
That would be. Yeah, no, I didn't know about that. So that is an interesting fact. But then again, no one's called Jane, but then no one's called Jack in
Yeah.
Also,
Persona 5 either. So I'm wondering, could it be in reference to something? Like maybe his 7th ult is a reference to one of the other characters? I'm not sure. Maybe there is a female Joker, although if there was, I don't see why it'd be his 7th ult. I feel like surely it would be his 2nd ult and do 4 of each.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't know. It's interesting to think about, though.
Yeah. Well, we would definitely find out in this spring update. But I guess other than Persona stuff, we don't really know what else is there. But there is a few things that have been hinted at, or and implied and found through data mining. And the first one I want to talk about is Stage Builder, because that little that question mark on the Switch that they showed off, as Push pointed out on Twitter as soon as it came out, and I agree with him, it looks like what's pixelated is a stage builder, because it looks like there's a sort of menu on the side and at the bottom on Battlefield, but clearly that menu doesn't exist in the game at the moment. It's not like the training menu or anything like that. So
yeah, and if you watched one of our recent videos, we actually, through data mining, found a lot of evidence that they're probably coming soon.
I have a question for that, because I saw a lot of people in the comments section for that specific video, Martin, asking like, well, how do we know this isn't information from the Wii U that's left over? Can you elaborate on why that's not likely?
Yeah, so the reason why this is most likely not a Wii U leftover is due to several factors. The first factor is the fact that this param, these 2 param entries point to basically help files. Help files that are in a specific naming convention that I think works only with Smash Ultimate. So, like, for example...
So, if we looked into Smash Wii U right now, we wouldn't find these same files?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. And, not to mention, going through the garbage data that was found, there was another reference to home run contests that had a different naming convention that was different from Smash Wii. It's some weird stuff, but basically it is not Smash Wii U related. I can say that.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because I feel like people just wanted a little bit more information on that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Has this data been in the game since the very beginning? I'm just trying to think whether it was okay. So
yes,
it is possible it could just be cut content or something. Like maybe they were working on one and then didn't have time to finish it.
Here's the thing, right? And a lot of people, I can see it being cut content, but here's the thing, and I pointed this out in my video, and I'd recommend you watch it because a lot more in-depth information is in that video. Basically, the whole thing with it is, if Nintendo put strings in the game directly correlating with an instruction manual type file, that means that they have intentions, I think, personally. I think there's some intention to put that in there at some point, because they did the same thing with Smash 3DS, where they had features, and this wasn't data mined, but they basically had features where, online sharing is coming in the future, even though that wasn't in Smash 3DS at that point. So this is kind of the same thing here, except in this case we had to actually search through the game's files to find that.
And so I would assume, I guess we're all assuming this, that these two wouldn't be like paid DLC. This would be the part of a free update, in the same way that tournament mode on Smash for Wii U was added in later as a free update.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this would piss off a lot of consumers if they paid for it, because this is Smash Ultimate. You know what? Nintendo could get away with it if they wanted to, but
yeah. I don't know. I wonder how many people would buy home run contest.
Right.
We had like tournament mode and what else have we had that was added post launch? We've had things.
I feel like it was just that. I think if it was just tournament mode in Smash for Wii
U.
But they announced it
YouTube
beforehand. They said it wouldn't be ready before release.
Yeah, I get the feeling, and this is just conjecture, but that a lot of this game was, while this game wasn't rushed, there were features that weren't completed, if that makes sense, because they really that that it was actually planned to not be completed.
But I just want to point out that if you remember that there was a leak back in September that correctly predicted Piranha Plant by a Reddit user named NOA Testy, and like he literally went into detail on why he leaked or this person leaked or whatever. And one of the reasons was because apparently the dev team was behind in bugs. Apparently they were falling behind schedule on certain things. So this could lead credence to the fact that, okay, they had to cut some things for later, and it could explain why 1.0 was so buggy in the first place too. So it was probably, maybe the team was behind schedule a little bit.
Alright. So I guess the next question is, what do we think Stage Builder and Home Run Contest are going to be like? Stage Builder, like, do we think it's going to use the touchscreen like it did on the Wii U? And do we think it's going to be similar to the Wii U's one? Because, of course, as I'm sure everyone remembers, the Wii U's Stage Builder was a bit naff in terms of the amount of content that you actually had. Like, Brawls offered so much more variation compared to the Wii U's.
Right. The Wii U brought freedom of actual design and blast zones, because you could adjust where your stage... Like, you could have walk-offs. You couldn't have walk-offs in Brawl, for instance.
Okay,
So it gives you more control over the blast zones, and since it was freeform and you could draw, it gave you a lot more control over the type of stage you were going to do. It added lava, which wasn't in the other one. For the most part, though, what it didn't have is because it didn't have the grids that Brawl had, so it was missing kind of like the water wheels and the spikes and the ice and just like all of the hazards. One thing I'll say that I'm looking forward to, if and when Stage Builder comes back, is that that'll probably feature a share your content section of the game, which means not only will we be able to share our stages, but we will probably be able to share Mii fighters as well. And I enjoy that because I don't feel like making like a Mii that looks like Takamaru and then going in and importing him into Smash. And I don't know, I'm lazy. I'd rather just somebody else do it.
Yeah, and it'll probably tie into the launch of the Smash World app that they're releasing.
Oh yeah, that is a thing that's coming, isn't it?
Yeah,
I forgot all about that.
I forgot, yeah. Well, huh.
Yeah,
I guess it will. I mean, I'd like to see people be able to share Mii costumes and stages, because of the same reasons, making Mii's on the Switch isn't as easy as it was
Yep.
on Wii U. And so, because I've been meaning to make one for Takamaru, make one for Lip, make one for Isaac just so I have access to them, but I just... It's
a pain. Yeah, it really is a pain compared to how it used to be. So, but I know other people will do it. That's why I'm like, oh man, I really wish. I would hope, especially because they're taking time for Stage Builder, that it kind of brings back all the stuff from Brawl, but gives you the freedom of the Wii U. I think it would. I would hope it uses the touchscreen. I think Mario Maker probably uses the touchscreen too. Just because
it does use the touchscreen in Mario Maker.
Yeah. So then why not? Why not use a touchscreen when it's undocked? I think that would work great.
The thing that makes me not think that is because the menus don't work on touch. They didn't work on touch on Wii U either, for some bizarre reason.
Even if we can't draw on it, use some pointer functionality just to do some things, but it was still grid-based, so I think that would stay in that the entire... I don't know how much time you guys spent on the Stage Builder in Wii U, but everything was based off of a grid, and so you didn't place blocks like in Brawl, but you did pick between 2 points, any 2 points on the screen, and it would create a line for you. So I think it would stay like that, because there wouldn't be blocks. You'd just be able to pick different places and make different shapes, which is a lot better in my opinion than Brawl Stage Builder. I actually really like the Stage Builders in Smash. I spent a lot of time on them. I'm a big fan of that type of user-created content where you can just kind of mess around and figure stuff out. I'm really excited because I really want to use some of the songs, especially the songs for games that are in Other.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, because if I can make a stage that I can play like the Takamaru music or Dylan's Rolling Western or Monster Hunter, because none of those songs don't fit on any of the quote-unquote other stages, I'm not going to do that on Tamagotchi Life. It's weird.
I do want to point out that I think with this Smash Brothers' theme of reusing a lot of content and kind of like...
Ultimate Stage Builder!
Well, what I was going to say was, I think that they'll reuse the backgrounds from all 103 stages, and you'll be able to choose them for, like, a theme of sorts.
I can guarantee that's not happening. That's way too much.
I think they will, or at least I'm hoping they will, use backgrounds from some stages. because I want to be able to make Mario themed levels and Zelda themed levels. But I think for copyright reasons, like you wouldn't be able to do that for the third party, and maybe even some of the second party, because you're basically giving them you're giving users the opportunity to make whatever they want with assets that look like they're from a Sonic game, for example, or a Bayonetta.
I bet you Capcom
or
and
Final
Konami
Fantasy
will be fine with it.
Maybe the companies will be fine with it, but that's like another step that I think Sakurai would have to take and agree on with people. And I don't think it's going to be worth it, and I don't think it's needed for all 103 as much as that would be really fun. But I would like to say, like, at least like if there's a Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Star Fox, like at least all the basic Nintendo series, and then they all have their own asset layout to use. That would be really good. I'd like to see that as opposed to just really generic ones. If they have to do generic ones, at least have them be more varied than what we've had in the past.
You know, it'd be nice if you could use some of them that were for boss battles just as backgrounds.
Use the Monster Hunter one, that would be good.
Yeah, because then you could actually
for
do
anything
that.
else, yeah. Or the Ganon one is really good. The Ganon background is really good, and it's not used for anything.
No, it's not.
I would also love if they did some generic ones that would that come with their own themes. I just want to be able to recreate Pac-Maze with Pac-Man Neon.
So talking about expanding on what's before with a stage builder and what they could add, do you think they're going to expand anything on home run contest?
I really don't understand how you can change home run contest unless it's the same as like the Angry Birds bomb thing. Like what like I don't break the target, sure. You can do all sorts of stuff. Home run contest? I don't think so, guys.
Hey, let me just get this out of the way first. Playable sandbag, please. Playable sandbag.
Know if you can beat him up in a home run contest. But what if they did bring back Target Blast but made it a part of the home run contest?
I mean,
I'm just thinking.
I would have the same thoughts on that I had when I first played it. This is a thing. This is a thing in Smash.
I'm just thinking of what the benefit of bringing home run contest back is just on its own, I suppose. Because I mean, home run contest is a staple, but it's almost certainly one of those modes that you go in, you play once just for the giggles, or to unlock like a trophy or something, and then you leave and never touch again. Especially
because we already have the what do you call that in Smash? They're not achievements. The
accomplishments.
Yeah.
Challenges.
Or challenges.
The challenges, yeah. We already have the challenges. They're not going to add new challenges, and that's like half of why you do things like those sort of modes.
I mean, maybe if it depends on how big the update is, maybe they will have new challenges.
They'll just add a new page? Maybe.
Yeah, add a new page with like, just call it like Spring 3.0 up challenges or something. And maybe like build a stage as one, get a certain amount of distance from the home run contest. Maybe they are actually adding more than just the two new modes. Maybe there is a Target Smash equivalent or something coming along as well. I remember there was one rumor that said in Stage Builder you'd be able to build your own Target Smash events as well for fighters to try, which would be pretty cool. But if they did that, I'd assume there would be some developer-made ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. Maybe there's going to be, a whole bunch of, maybe the entire focus of this will be kind of user-created content. So you'll have, maybe there are tweaks you can do on the home run contest. Maybe there will be break the targets where people can make and share their own stages. And if you did that, I would imagine that you would have to, like with Mario Maker, you have to clear the stage before you can upload it.
Yeah, presumably, yeah.
But it would have to be by character, because if you could if I could clear break the target with Ness, I might not be able to break it with Ganondorf, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true, and the game's not going to force you to do it as all 70-something characters just to check.
Yeah.
I know there was a theory that the bonus room was a scrapped variation of break targets somewhere. Like they reused assets from when they were making it, and then they just like scrapped it all of a sudden.
That was something I was going to bring up as well, because we talked about those two, but there's also obviously Boss Rush is a mode from Brawl that was cut because they didn't need it in Smash Wii. But now that we have bosses again, it's totally something they could bring back and would be a pretty easy mode to implement. But also, as was also found in a recent data mine, there were variants on the bonus minigame, the Race to the Finish one from Smash Ultimate. We only have one, which every single character does. But
it sucks so much.
Things have been found to show that there was another 3 planned. Now, whether they were actually test ones, especially the last one looks kind of all over the place, or whether or not the plan was to have variants, it's like, who knows? Maybe this is actually another mode that they'll be adding Like, expand on the stadium and have a race to the finish with 4 different tracks. And you have to try and get the best time with every character on all tracks. Like, adding new modes like that and then expanding out the board with a stadium. Because then you could have the contest from the home run contest, from the bonus rooms, boss rush, break the targets. I think there's enough there to make a whole set of new challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Would it affect your GSP for Smash? For Elite Smash?
I don't know. Maybe everything affects that. So maybe.
That'll be abused.
Yeah, that seems kind of like a bad idea, guys.
Ganon Warlock Punch.
Yeah, I'll say this. What I think is kind of weird is that I thought that little running section, the little board, race to the finish, was pretty fun the first like 2 or 3 times I played it. Not so much doing it over 70 times.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I hate it. I hate it so much now because I'm just trying to get through classic mode. And the fact that, like, I felt like you weren't even earning anything good from there because there's no trophies. I don't know, like, how it really affected what spirits you got at the end. It was tedious. But one thing that I thought was really interesting about it was the fact that it used the cannon from Stage Builder. That's the only place to see that cannon in the game now.
Yeah, and maybe that's more signs of it coming back. And
yeah, or that it was originally implemented with features to create your own. I mean, I guess I can see that. Completely not related to anything, but I'm just going to bring it up here. Why is Ganon not the final classic boss for Roy when everything Roy fights are swords?
Please don't. I've already... There's so much about all the wasted potential where they just threw Master Hand in. That annoys me.
The biggest travesty is why Super Mario Maker before Suzaku Castle? That came out 2 updates after those stages. Like...
Wait, but when was it revealed?
It was revealed
in September.
No,
it was definitely revealed afterwards, yeah. Actually, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That's how bizarre. Speaking of new stages, do you think they're going to add any other stages outside of the Fighters Pass that could potentially be announced? Because like you said in the one where they announced Roy, Ryu, Lucas for Smash for Wii U, they also announced returning classic stages with, I believe it was Hyrule Castle, Mario, and Kirby Dreamland, I think, in Smash for Wii U. Like, I'm wondering if they'll do the same, because there are some classic stages that are still missing.
Pac-Maze.
that could actually still work on Smash Ultimate, because I know some were obviously cut because they wouldn't work in 8-player Smash, or their gimmicks didn't work on the Wii on the Ultimate. Other reasons. They were too energy
or they used
CPU
ripped,
power.
low quality Pokemon models that they didn't feel like redoing.
All that, yes. But like, I still think the 2 missing Nintendo 64 stages, Sector Z and Planet Zebes, could easily come back, and the same for Mushroom Kingdom Melee. I feel like the only reason those were cut was because there was already existing stages that with the same sort of theme. And I understand that for Sector Z, because it's literally, even if it's actually a different size Great Fox, like, I get that it's still the Great Fox, but Sector Z has a completely different layout, and so does Mushroom Kingdom Melee. So they're not really the same stage.
Rainbow Road and Mute City Melee, both I feel like were just cut because they didn't have the time to create those stages.
Yeah, no, I agree, because they'd have had, unlike Orbital Gate Zone, where they wouldn't have had to do too much to update, I would have said, those were all too low quality, and were actually just ripped straight from F-Zero X and Mario Kart 7. So honestly, they'd have to remake the whole track in HD.
So, yeah, I could see those if they brought something back. But it would take a lot of effort for something.
That takes a lot of effort. This is why I'm thinking those 3 I mentioned, the 2 Nintendo 64 missing ones and the Melee missing one, because those are all like really simple to bring back.
Honestly, just give me the Goomba stage from Melee. That was awesome.
The
Goomba trophy.
Yeah, what about the Majora's Mask trophy?
Oh yeah, that one.
Or the GameCube. I would love a transforming stage where you're just fighting on different Nintendo consoles.
That'd be badass, dude.
Well, yeah,
That'd be
I mean,
awesome.
They could do new stages, I guess, as well, because they also did that in Smash for Wii U with Mario Maker. Although I feel like the only reason they did that was for promotional reasons.
Dude, I've been saying this for a while. They need to make a stage based off the Japanese version of Super Mario Bros. 2 and have the stage be windy and like this retro-themed like 4-2.
You say that, but I feel like Mushroom Kingdom 64 is actually based off of Lost World. I feel like the graphics they use in the background and stuff are actually from Super Mario Brothers 2 and not Super Mario Brothers 1.
Probably.
At least originally in the 64 version, maybe they changed it in Ultimate to be the first game.
I
haven't actually gone back and checked this.
Do you know what I think is really interesting? That Super Happy Tree, the N64 Yoshi stage, looks like a crafted stage now because they upped the detail so much. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yes,
it looks like it's made
do,
out of cardboard.
I do.
Yeah. It looks like it could be from Crafted World.
Yeah. Do you know what annoys me? The Super Mario World stage is still called Yoshi's Island when it's not Yoshi's Island. It should be Dinosaur Island.
Well, you know what really upsets me? The fact that Mushroom Kingdom 2 is in Subcon.
Yeah, that as well, in fact, yeah.
When's Mushroom Kingdom 3?
Yeah,
why isn't SMB 3 getting love? Like, come on.
Clearly the worst Mario platformer.
Boo. Get out of here.
So,
but, yeah, I'll say this. I do think if they were to bring back stages, when you're advertising the game, it's just like, of course, there was rumors that Square Enix wanted Cloud to be DLC again, and you could have done that, and it wouldn't have even been that big of a deal, except for the fact that you couldn't say everybody's here. That's why it sucks.
Everybody's here but Cloud.
Exactly. I think
but with stages, it's not as big a deal to bring every stage back.
But here's what I was going to say, is when they were doing the stage reveal in the Direct, they wanted to say every stage works with 8-player Smash, and every stage works with Stage Morph. If they introduce the stages that don't work with that in DLC, it doesn't matter, because it's not, because they already did the selling of it. And it's very easy to block it.
I mean, that is true.
They could
but
easily
I don't think they would include.
They could
I don't think they'd include a stage that
I
then
could
isn't accessible.
easily see Sakurai say, unfortunately, the stage won't be available with Stage Morph. Because all it will do is, like, right now, if you do Stage Morph and you try to pick the same stage twice, it'll say, please select another stage. That's all it would do.
I know. I understand what
anything.
it would do. I know that it's entirely doable. I just don't feel like they would after going to all this effort to make everything work with everything.
Listen, I want Jungle Hijinks with a Dixie Echo, and I don't care how we get it.
Honestly, at this point, I don't care. Just give me a stage that bricks my Switch.
So, is there anything other than what we've already discussed that we think could be shown off in the 3.0 update?
I'm pretty sure that at this point, a lot of the stuff seems pretty conclusive. I mean, like, Joker makes a lot of sense. I mean, they said he's freaking coming in that update, so he's 100% guaranteed. Second, I do think that Home Run Contest and Stage Builder are coming. That makes sense, especially with the teasing they've been doing. The bonus room stuff is a little bit shaky, but we'll see, because it could be scrap content, but I could see them implementing that into classic mode. Gives more life into that stage. And a possible female Joker alt is kind of out there, but I could see it too.
Here's one quick question. Do you guys think that there's any chance that they'll announce paid DLC for anything that's not on the Fighter Pass?
I mean, that's what I think they might do for the stages. And the Mii fighters, I think, are 100% not in the Fighter Pass and paid DLC. I mean,
of course, those are paid.
At this point. Yeah, but I think the stages would be as well. I don't think they'd add them for free.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Do you think if they did returning or new stages, if any of them would be free? I agree with you, and I don't think. I think that's the only thing that we might get. We'll definitely get Mii fighter costumes. We might get stages announced, and I don't think they'll be free. I always hold out hope. I joked about Dixie earlier for some echoes that wouldn't technically be part of the Fighter Pass. I don't think they're happening, but, I'll always hope.
I was thinking earlier today, what if they just announced that Alf is finally getting that promotion he deserved?
How about Miss Pac-Man, and then we can get Pac-Maze. I just really hate Pac-Land so much. I hate it. Why is it in the game? I just want Pac-Maze.
Considering that's all you said, you think was coming. What about? Considering you said that that's all that was coming, what about the chance of a second character being announced during this Spring Up Direct?
I think being announced during the Direct is likely. I just don't think that it's coming in 3.0 because it seems like an E3 thing almost. Because let me say this, 3.0 seems packed already if you count in Home Run Contest and Stage Builder, but I'm still thinking they're going to save some of the main paid DLC for E3. I think we're going to get the same amount that we did back in 2015 with Roy, Ryu, and Lucas. I do think it's going to be a massive patch, but This one is mainly going to be 3.0 is mainly going to be just for free content along with Joker, and I think the other one's just going to be mainly paid content. So.
I think it's going to end with a trailer for the newcomer, but that's all we're going to know about them.
So I'm going to go that extra step, and I think that we'll get both in the thing. I think we're going to see a second character, but I don't think there's going to be anything shown in this direct about a spring update that won't be included in that spring update. And because of the fact that Brave has also been referenced since the beginning, it seems to be the only other one being referenced in the game's files, other than Joker and Piranha Plants, makes me think that they both started around the same time and could both very well be ready to be launching on the same day in April. Because they did do the same thing with Roy and Ryu, announced both of them and launched them both on the same day. And while that was E3, like you said, Martin, I think there doesn't have to be E3. I think there's definitely going to be a character announced at E3, but remember, this is still the start of the fighter pack. We could easily see two now, one announced at E3 coming in like August, and then one announced the last two announced a bit later coming for the end of the year. I think that's perfectly doable. And then we'll get both Joker and Erdrick now in this Smash Direct. That's what I think. I think we'll get to see both of them.
I disagree. I don't think we'll get it. I mean, it's possible. But I honestly think it's more likely to get Joker and some sort of weird surprise echo. I'm gonna say that because if we're both just randomly saying things, that's what I'm gonna say.
Hey, I did suggest Alf being upgraded earlier, so maybe.
That is true.
Joker.
Dark Crom, here we go. Dark Crom.
Dark Crom.
So I guess there isn't anything else for this spring update to talk about. So I want to thank you both for coming on. And
No problem.
I want to thank everyone for listening to this. Let us know what you think in the comments below about when you think the spring update will come and what you think is going to be included. I want to give a special shout out to all of our patrons, in particular the super patron, the Duke of Dorks. Link to his channel is in the description below. With that, like, subscribe, all of that nonsense, and always remember to return to the source.